Starting in Madrid, the trip to Oslo, Stockholm and Copenhagen. Road trip with the family. We are here at Miranda de Ebro. 3 hours later, it's about 9 o'clock and 320 kilometers. So about range anxiety. At the beginning, the Tesla stated I will arrive at 28% of battery charge, and then it went down after half an hour to 14%. Well, we had to cross the mountains near Madrid, but I decided to calibrate a little bit the velocity. I started with 120 kilometers per hour, which is the allowed maximum speed in Spain, and I changed it to 115. So with 115 I arrived finally with 20% of charge of the battery. So I think that's the solution for the range anxiety. The car was fully loaded, yeah, with 4 persons and luggage. So it's just to adapt the velocity to a lower speed, and then you will reach the destination without range anxiety. And our Tesla is a Model 3 long range, bought in 2021. Now we are in France, La Beauhère, and the Tesla stores are completely full. And also there are non-Teslas here, at least from the 10 stores here. There are 2 non-Teslas, and there's a queue of electrical cars waiting, Teslas, non-Teslas. It's about lunchtime, 12:30. We arrived here with 16% of battery, and when we started last supercharger, we stated we will arrive with 36. So it's quite a difference, but no problem. We have arrived without range anxiety. The shops here, there's only Carrefour Express. I would give it 3 out of 5 stars here. We finally arrived in Poitiers. There are 18 superchargers, very fine. There's a supermarket nearby. Finally, I have to change the rating of the the supercharger side, because this is not a food shop or something like this. I do not have bathrooms here. That's for home appliances and things like this. Finally, we decided not to completely charge the car in Poitiers, and we went on to Blois. It's about half the way to Paris, still 1.5 hours left. And here we have, I think, about 10 superchargers. And there's a McDonald's and a restaurant nearby. No much Tesla cars here, so I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. And now it's about 6:30 in the morning, and we are at the supercharger at Vélizy. And yeah, it's quite nice. There are some Teslas here, and there are about 10 stalls. It is a very big shopping center here nearby, so I would give this 5 of 5 stars for the site. I did not charge a lot in the last supercharger, because the car was cold, and it was only charging with 35 kilowatts. So we went on the trip, and we are now in the supercharger at Saint-Guy, and now it's charging with 150 kilowatts. That's okay. And well, the charger here is a little bit hidden. Yeah, it is near Ibis Hotel. Yeah. not so much service around, so I would also give it a 3 out of 5-star rating for this supercharger. Now we are at the supercharger at Valenciennes. It's also about 10 stalls. It's full right now. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. And well, here is a Novotel is behind us. Okay, it's a little bit away from other services, but I think it's okay. I would give it also 3 of 5 stars. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock now and we are in Maastricht. And here the superchargers, it's quite nice. There is a restaurant nearby. You can see here. There's a small restaurant and also a gasoline station is nearby. So you can buy something. It's raining. That's Belgium. I'll tell you a little bit about the trip so far. I'm using navigate-on-autopilot. That's the maximum you can use in Europe because FSD it makes no sense. It can only detect stop signs and red lights, so it doesn't do anything more. So navigate-on-autopilot is working quite well. I would say 99% it's doing a good job. Yeah, you can make the lane changes automatically. You have to take a little bit of caution, of course, but it works fine. Yeah. If it would not be with a Tesla, I could not drive so many hours because it's nearly automatically. You only have to keep your hands on the steering wheel and you can relax a lot. I mean, it's not like with an ice car. You're getting so tired with time and you could not drive for so many time. So thanks Tesla for this marvelous car. It is about 11 o'clock and we are in Nottuln. There are about 12 superchargers here. Looks quite nice and there is a McDonald's nearby, so okay, services are there. We are now at the supercharger at Posthausen. Yeah? There are also about 10 stalls here, but the problem is there is a shopping center, but not for food, and there are no services here. And the supercharger is also a little bit off the highway. Yeah, it's about 3 kilometers from the highway. So, well, it's 8 o'clock and finally we arrived in Denmark. We are at Kliplev and well, it's a very nice supercharger here, about 20 stalls I think, and there's also a gasoline station here, and behind there is a McDonald's, so there are services for people traveling a lot. And yes, for us we still have one supercharger to go. We will charge now for about 25 minutes and yeah, I think we arrive at our destination at about 11 o'clock, so it will be about 17 hours on the road. Yeah. This is a long time, long trip, but I think without a Tesla you could not do this. Yeah, it's impossible with the seats of other cars I have tried, and in my youth I made also long trips and it was horrible. But now with the Tesla it is bearable. Yeah, you can do it, yeah, and it's fine. Oh, it's 10 o'clock now. I'm in Slagelse. There are 25 Tesla stores. It's empty. Yeah, it's completely empty. There are 3 cars, and it's a nice spot. They have a small shopping center nearby, and yeah, looks nice. And yeah, Yeah, good morning. It's our second day in Denmark. I could charge a little bit the car at the Airbnb residence. Yeah, it was okay. And now to have some more kilometers here, we are at Kirke Savi. I hope the station is not too bad. And it's near Roskilde, and we will visit the Viking museum. There are some interesting ships from the Viking era, so let's see. And yeah, it's raining and a lot of wind here. And about the supercharger, there are about 10-12 stalls. And there's a gasoline station nearby, not so much other services I think here. I would give it 3 out of 5 stars for this site. Yeah, we are in Sweden right now, in Vela near Helsingborg. And the supercharger here has about 20 stalls, and every supercharger in Sweden has an, you can see it, an IKEA, yes! Yeah, here we have the IKEA. And there's also a restaurant nearby. Just to tell about our experience with the Tesla density in Europe. In Spain there are very few Teslas, and when we passed through France there were some Teslas, but not so many. In Belgium and the Netherlands there were also some on the road, but not so many. Germany as well. I was surprised there are not so many Teslas in Germany. And in Denmark it was very surprising. It was 1 out of 30 cars which is a Tesla on the road. Yeah, 1 out of 30 cars. We made a little play with the family to count the Teslas, and in Copenhagen you cannot pass a street without seeing a Tesla. Yeah, it was tremendous. And here in Sweden the Tesla density is also normal, like in Germany. There are not so many Teslas here. Yeah, so most Tesla density in Europe I have seen so far was in Denmark. Yeah? Let's see how they are in Norway, but right now it was Denmark and Copenhagen. Yeah. The next supercharger here in Sweden, in Jönköping. And what do you think? What is behind me? An IKEA! That was not a joke. Every supercharger has an IKEA here. So it's quite a nice place here. A lot of superchargers, more than 20 I think. Yeah. And there's also McDonald's here nearby and the shopping center. So I will give this also 5 or 5 stars. Yeah. That's quite a nice place here. Yeah. And the weather is good, and yeah, well, we visited the elk park on the road here. What was quite nice. Yesterday we arrived here in Stockholm at Trollbäcken. It is about 50 minutes from the city center, and it was not necessary to do another stop to charge the Tesla. So well, everything fine here, and now we are going to visit the city center. So now we are on our way from Stockholm to Oslo, and the first stop here is in the supercharger at Arborga. I hope the pronunciation is more or less right. And well, there are about 10 superchargers. It's 80% are full with Teslas, and there is here a McDonald's nearby on the other side of the street, and there's also subways nearby, and also diners with a restaurant. So yeah, overall it's a nice place. I would give it 5 of 5 stars. Here now at Töcksfors. It's still in Sweden. We are near the border to Norway, and yeah, we are heading now to Oslo. And the supercharger here has about 10 stalls, and there's just it's a parking of you can see it here. Let's see, yeah, famous M. Yeah. So yeah, well, here it's also a small shopping center nearby. So I would give this also 5 of 5 stars rating. It's a good site. You have services. You can eat something. Yeah. We arrived at our destination, final destination. It's Oslo. You see the opera house behind me. And yeah, it was a long trip.